Today I Fucked Up Part 3. Today I fucked up by using my real phone number to contact escorts. While the events of this started a couple days ago, the consequences happened today. I recently got broken up with, and I've been in a depressed state for a couple weeks. A couple days ago, I decided to try and find an escort to try and help my depression. Extremely stupid idea, I know. But basically, I texted some numbers to try and set something up with either them not responding, ghosting me, or just unable to work anything out. This morning, I got a text and call from an unknown Ohio number. I live in Minnesota and have a Colorado number, telling me that they're the boss or manager of the people I've been talking to, and I need to pay a fine for wasting their time. They also told me they have info on my family as well. I'm almost positive it's a scam, and I blocked and reported the number. But part of me is terrified that I majorly screwed up and put people at risk, all because I was sad and horny. Not trying to justify my actions at all. I completely fucked up. TLDR, I used my real phone number to contact escorts and got a threatening text. Today I fucked up by holding hands with my friend. I was holding my friend's hand while we were walking in the mall, which was nothing new for us. My friend is legally blind and needs someone to guide him from time to time, especially in busy environments. However, holding my friend's hand unexpectedly attracted a random woman who approached us and said, "Gaying is a sin," before handing me a piece of paper with religious writing scribbled all over. My friend asked me to read what was on the piece of paper, so I read the first line that said, "Devil Satan is coming." Unlike me, my friend managed to laugh about the situation, which prompted the woman to tell us that her son was taken by the devil for gaying. My friend stopped laughing and asked the woman to explain how the devil took her son for gaying. The woman said she gave her son a choice and he chose gaying for Satan instead of staying for Jesus. So he left and she never saw him again. Without any warning whatsoever, my friend gave me a quick but sloppy kiss on the mouth and said, "You heard the lady, the Dark Lord is coming, so he better hurry home and come before the devil does." As soon as my friend was done delivering that line and leaving me feeling even more confused, he squeezed my hand and pulled me away from the woman. I looked over my shoulder and noticed the woman was just watching us walk away without moving. My friend and I approached security and explained what happened. Security said they knew exactly who we were talking about and promised to act accordingly because it was not the first report they received regarding the same woman. When my friend and I were finally alone again, I was like, "What the fuck was I kiss, bro?" For the record, my friend and I are both straight. My friend shrugged and said he improvised. Needless to say, it was weird for me to continue holding his hand post-gaying, but you know what? I'll always be there to give him a hand if he needs one. TLDR, held my friend's hand in public because he's legally blind and attracted the attention of an unhinged religious woman who wanted my friend and I to stop gaying. Mini break. I'm on a mission to reach 100 subs this month. If you're still watching, maybe your destiny is to hit subscribe. Just saying. Today I fucked up by eating food 5 years past expiration date. For context, I was helping an older family member clean up her home because she recently had a procedure and is having a hard time doing things herself. Upon finishing, she told me there was a bag with some food in the pantry that she wanted me to take home as payment. I tried to refuse. There was no arguing with her. I thought, what the heck? I'm young and groceries are expensive. Well, some of that food, all canned or boxed dry food, was really old. I threw out a few things that were 10 years or more past expiration date. Some things were in packaging so old you could tell it was from another decade. But I came across some Betty Crocker au gratin potatoes, and they were expired by 5 years. Went bad in 2020. I called my mom, and she said she figured it'd be fine as long as the packaging was intact and nothing smelled or looked off. Google said it might taste gross, but wouldn't be poisonous, most likely. Well, I really like au gratin potatoes, and I hadn't had any in a while, so I made them, and I ate like half the pan. Mistake. I woke up drenched in sweat at 3 a.m. and proceeded to vomit violently for 3 hours. I mean, it was bad. My stomach has never hurt so bad. The pain woke me up. I literally dreamed I was being punched in the stomach and woke up to hot, fiery pain. It was coming out from both ends. It was terrible. And now it's 2 days later and I can barely eat anything without feeling horribly nauseous. Don't eat expired potatoes. TLDR, I ate expired au gratin potatoes from an old relative and puked so hard I still can't eat 2 days later.
Today I fucked up by accidentally hiring my client's ex without realizing it. I run a small creative business, nothing huge, a few clients, mostly remote stuff. Last month I was swamped and decided to bring in some help for design work. Posted the gig, got a few solid applicants, and hired this one person who seemed super professional. For the first week, everything was great. Fast communication, clean work, no red flags. Then one of my biggest clients calls me out of nowhere and says, "Hey, weird question, but is name working with you now?" I remember that moment so clearly because I was literally playing on stake, half distracted, and I thought it was just going to be a normal check-in call. Nope. I said, "Yeah, they're part-time helping out with design." Silence. Then she goes, "That's my ex. Please tell me you're joking." Turns out they'd broken up a few months ago. Badly. Like lawyer involved, blocked on all platforms badly. And I had just given the ex full access to our shared folders. That included her brand files. I froze. Checked the access logs. Nothing shady, but still a massive yikes. I called the new hire, explained the situation, and to their credit, they were polite, but way too calm about it. They said, "Yeah, I figured that might come up eventually." What do you mean might come up eventually? Anyway, now I've got a furious client, an ex-employee who didn't technically do anything wrong, and a week's worth of awkward damage control ahead of me. TLDR, hired a great designer, accidentally reignited someone else's breakup. Now my business feels like a reality show. Today I fucked up by falling asleep during a 12-hour event and getting kicked out. So I, a uni student, was trying to join this 4-day event, 1 day of training and 3 days of actual work. I originally reached out to one of the organizers because I really wanted to gain some experience. She told me my resume wasn't strong enough since this would have been my first event. Like, how am I supposed to build a good resume if no one lets me join any events, right? Anyway, on the first day of training, she suddenly called me and said, "Hey, if you can come, we actually need people, and bring some friends if you can." So I showed up, did the training, and even brought a couple of my buddies since they were short on people. The event itself was brutal, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. I worked fine the first day, came the second day, and it was just non-stop tasks. I didn't even get the chance to sit for hours. During lunchtime, they told me to skip my break because someone important was coming, so I didn't eat for a while. 2 hours later, my team leader finally said I could take a break. I sat down in a hallway near the event rooms, just in case someone needed help or directions, and the next thing I know, I had dozed off in the chair. It wasn't even on purpose, I was just dead tired. Well, apparently, some old man saw me, took a picture of me sleeping, and reported it. Later that evening, I got a message saying I wasn't allowed to come back for the rest of the event. Basically, I got kicked out for taking a 5-minute accidental nap after 2 12-hour shifts. I get that it's unprofessional to sleep during work, but it really wasn't intentional. I was just super tired after long hours, and I didn't want to leave my spot in case someone needed help. TLDR, worked at a 12-hour-a-day event, accidentally fell asleep during my break, and got kicked out after an old man took a picture of me sleeping. Edit. Just to be clear, this was a paid job. I wanted to gain experience. I didn't mean any disrespect. I was just super tired after long hours. Today I fucked up by eating too much kale. I'm trying to up my veggie intake, so for dinner, I thought, why not a kale salad? I added 2 cups of raw kale to a bowl with chicken sausage, carrot sticks, an egg, red onion, mushrooms, cubed cheese, and balsamic, blissfully unaware that 2 hours later I would be experiencing excruciating gut pain. Turns out, you're supposed to introduce dark leafy greens to your diet slowly because they're so high in fiber that they can shock your digestive system, and that's exactly what happened to me. What started off as some minor gas pain while I scrolled through TikTok on my phone quickly turned into me doubled over, writhing, and curled up into a ball, feeling like I was going to puke from the pain in my digestive tract. It felt like someone was stabbing my intestines and colon repeatedly until I eventually ran to the toilet and yeah. Now I'm lying here and the worst pain is past, but I'm still feeling very sore. I will definitely eat less raw kale the next time I make a salad. TLDR, I ate too much kale, and the fiber content shocked my gut like a defibrillator was being pressed to my insides. So that's it for today. Write or Today I Fucked Up stories in the comments. If you had fun listening, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and tap the little bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for hanging out. See you soon.